Late Night with the Devil is the schlocky B-movie horror fun that's right up my alley. What makes it a lot of fun is how it leans both into its retro aesthetic as well as its more over-the-top elements. I wouldn't necessarily call it a found footage type of movie, at least not in the traditional sense. It does have that shaky cam style you get in found footage movies, showing us the quote-unquote never-before-seen behind-the-scenes footage of this late-night talk show, but that's only part of the movie. The other parts are actually straightforward documentary filmmaking while also replicating the grainy analog look of 70s TV, showing us footage of an episode of the show, and in those moments especially, it really embodies that style nicely. The costume designs were all on point. I did think that the behind-the-scenes footage had more of a noticeably modern feel that wouldn't fit in with the 70s material, but that aside, its emulation of old TV was very immersive, and when we actually get into the supernatural material, where our characters speak with an entity possessing one of the guests, it's a lot of fun. There are some really well done practical effects and gnarly moments of gore that are presented almost with this dark sense of humor that I was all in on. Now, those gorier moments don't make up the entire movie. It does a nice job of gradually building towards those moments, and then when we get them in the latter half, it really makes it count. Now, that's not to say that the first half is boring or anything. It moves by pretty quickly, and it does hook you in earlier on, as it does set the stage with the late night show staging a special Halloween-themed episode that has us just waiting for something to happen. And with that, we also get a charismatic performance by David Dastmalchian as the host, tying it all together. Now, he does get a narrative arc, which is summarized in the film's opening, and what I will say is, while I think they did a nice job of establishing his character right out of the gate to help flesh out his personality, I do think it was a bit clunky anytime they revisit his emotional beats, especially in the third act, which has some narrative beats that felt a tad abrupt. I wouldn't always call it the most effective at being the most emotional experience, but again, Dastmalchian's performance itself is a big thing that keeps us hooked throughout the first half, along with that anticipation of something terrible happening. But all that being said, it's still just a really fun time, and sometimes that's all you need in a horror movie.